Greetings, family and friends. Welcome to my channel. This evening I'm home. It's been raining quite a lot. Obviously, it's a rainy season, so you expect it to rain. But sometimes that literally puts a dampener on your plans. You can't go out because it's raining all day. And when you catch a little bit of a stopgap in the rainfall, you want to go out for a quick trot because obviously you want to make sure you keep your healthy lifestyle up. But today's been one of those days that it hasn't stopped raining at all. It's been dribbling all day. And so I've been home. I went just next door to have a quick chat with somebody, and then I came home and I'm sort of settled this evening, trying to play some Scrabble and have something to eat. I've got my cut up pineapple here, as well as lots of tea and drinks, so I'm having an interesting evening, shall we say. Anyway, the thing that I was going to talk about this evening was friendships, and I've heard some of my friends say that oh, we don't think we want to have any more new friends, and we're quite happy with the friends that we've already got, and we've known them for a while, and so on and so forth. So I think in life you have to be open to these things. You have to be open to friendship. You have to be open to love and to relationships as they come your way. Sometimes friendship is for a season. You're not going to have that same friend that you started off with when you were 5 years old, right through to, I don't know, 80. I mean, sometimes it happens, don't get me wrong, sometimes it happens. But at other times it doesn't. And that is because life goes in all sorts of ways. You change paths, you go to another country, you move on, you have a different lifestyle. Different things happen, and you don't quite keep on those same friends that you started off with. And I think for some of us who've lived elsewhere in the world and then come back and done other things and moved around a little bit, that can be true. But these days, because of the internet, we're quite lucky, really, because we can catch up with all our old friends and we can make new friends online, particularly people that we've got, we share the same interests, same background, same political views, all that sort of thing. Because of social media, we can pick up some of those friendships that we had earlier on in life. I think for us who are Africans, we find relationships a little easier. I find for myself, I'm not being biased, or well, I hope I'm not being biased. I think that we find relationships a little easier in that we have an interconnectedness, either through our families or through friends that we've known in our lives, going to school, and and so on and so forth. We certainly tend to live more in communities that seem to be connected one way or the other. Do you know what I mean? But because, for example, myself, if you ask me about anybody during the time that I grew up in Freetown, I'd be able to say that I know them, particularly if they went to certain schools or are a certain age. Even if I didn't know them personally, face to face, I would have known their families or their friends or their people that are around them. And now later on in life, I'm finding quite a number of people like that I didn't actually know when I was growing up. But as life progresses, I'm coming across them, and I've been able to place them straight away because of their family background or where they went to school and who their friends were and so on and so forth. So that sort of thing can happen. The other thing I find is that people sort of tend to, like I said earlier, tend to close off a little bit when it comes to friendships. And I think people should keep an open mind. Keep an open mind, make friends. It could be for a particular period of time, it could be a lifelong friendship. Don't close off. I read somewhere actually the other day, somebody was saying, oh, I haven't got any friends. Well, that's something to, it's a tricky thing to admit to a person who's got no friends. So you've got to have somebody somewhere that you can relate to, and so on and so forth. But what I notice that some people don't have friends or close friends, they have acquaintances, don't have these close friends because of various things that had happened in the past, and they feel let down, or somebody had said something to them that they hadn't been happy about, or other things had happened that had turned the relationship, the friendship, into a non-friendship. So, I mean, not everybody in the world is going to be a disappointing friend. So this is why I think people ought to keep an open mind. You don't know the next person that comes along, whether they're going to be just the right person for you. And I think as you get older, you sort of know who you're going to be able to relate to. You can tell. And their ideas, your ideas, where they're going with it, a decent amount of respect, and all of those things, shared interests, something that you can build on and talk about. So in the past I've had friends that I'm no longer friends with. That's fine, I'm not bothered. At the time that I was friends with them, that was great. It was good to have that friendship and companionship. Once that was over, then that was over. I have particular friends that I've been friends with from my teens, and they continue to be my friends to this day. There's members of my family that are friends too, my cousins and so on and so forth. So I think that all I'm trying to sort of put across is that let's just keep an open mind on the friendship, First and foremost, your partner's your friend. Your kids might be your friends as well, but you still need people outside of that immediate family circle to be friends with. And you go ahead and try and relate to people as you go through life. Some people stay on and some people fall away. There's always, something that will happen to kind of bring things together. What I think I have to do as an individual is just to keep my options open, keep my feelings and my warmth and my heart and all of those things open to receiving people as I come across them. Not all of them will be good, and once I have a little bit of an inkling that this isn't so good for me, obviously I make a hasty exit. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to stick around there for too long. But yeah, just not to place yourself as well in a vulnerable position where a person can come and take advantage of you, because that can happen too. You don't have to be desperate for friendship. That's not good. That's not good, because then you open yourself up to all sorts of low life, if you like, coming your way and pretending to be somebody that they're not, and all the rest of it. As you go along in life, I think you become quite specific in the kinds of people that you can be friends with and those that you cannot. So, here it's very funny, because if you're going about your business in your community, you'll find that people stop you and say, can you be my friend? Well, obviously it's going to be a little tricky trying to be friends with people who stop you on the street and say, can you be my friend? Because you've obviously got not a lot in common with them, and you're not going to be able to sit down and have a chat with them evening after evening and that sort of thing. So for such situations, I feel that a decent amount of respect, hello, how are you, know how to greet people and back off and back away. I find that just asking them about their families and so on, that's fine. When it crosses the boundary and somebody wants to then include you in their can you do that or can you do that? Then you have to stand firm and say, I'm sorry, but this is my situation and that sort of thing. Find ways of making sure that everybody's quite clear on what it is that you mean and how you want to be able to communicate with them. So purely on a community basis, you greet people, you say hello nicely and politely, and then move on. And other people that you meet as you go along with life, don't just shut people away thinking that this is it, I can't be friends with people because I'm over 40 or such and such, and that's the end of that, I've already had my friends. Don't think like that, because you never know when somebody can be a blessing to you, when that person can be somebody that you can do things with and you can have a decent conversation with on a regular basis, that sort of thing. So keep an open mind, see how things progress, don't shut yourself off, don't think just because you're a certain age you're never going to be able to make new friends. Obviously, if you're a younger person, get out there, make as many friends as you can, be careful, guard your heart and your possessions and your person. Be respectful. Don't let, particularly if you're a younger person, because I suspect older people already know this, well I hope they do. If you're a younger person, don't let everybody into your life just like that. Exercise discernment, look for things that you can relate to people with. Who are they? Find out a little bit more about them, what their habits are. Because the other day I was talking to this young girl, and she'd broken up with a boyfriend who wasn't a nice person at all. So before you let people into your life and allow them access to places that they wouldn't normally be allowed into, make sure you check them out. What sort of person are they? Horrible? Will they let you down? Are they going to not be nice? Do they share your interests? What political views do they have? Could they see someone and not lend a hand? So if you're into that sort of thing, is that what they're like? So try and find out a bit about people, particularly if you're a younger person. I think for us mature people, again, discernment, jolly well who it is that you can be friends with and who you can't, because you've sort of gone through that stage in life. But the other thing as well for older people is being vulnerable, and people who will come to fleece you because they think you have money to give to them for whatever services that they have to render. Be careful of those too, and ask opinions of people outside. Make lots of inquiries, double check on people's background. Tell somebody what's going on in your life. Even if you're a couple or a single person, let somebody know what's going on, so that you're safeguarding yourself. Don't let people into your house willy-nilly. In fact, if you can manage it, keep the people that actually come into your personal space limited. if you can manage it, because that opens up, you know, all sorts of things to happen, I find. Um, yeah, so that's what I was going to talk about. Obviously, we can continue talking about friendships as we go along. If you have any more ideas, or if you've any experiences or anything that you want to mention about it, you do please drop a comment, like, subscribe, and share. Thank you for listening. If you are, even if you've listened just a little bit, thank you for listening. Um, Subscribe to the channel, please. My name is Nyama Kurasilla. It's lovely to talk to you, and hopefully we'll talk soon. Cheers.